Folks, how do we start the show? Well, we have an intro.
But it hurt when Steven said I'm gay.
I like Steven. They're friendly.
Steven, make me sick to my stomach.
I went duck hunting with Steven.
They're fans of mine, but I'm even bigger fans of theirs.
Hello, everyone.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. Trying to not tell you anything about that for the past week or so. It's been kind of tough.
I've been thinking about doing something like that forever. Obviously, I would never do it, but
right.
It's yeah.
Shout out to Ben Shapiro, by the way. Or no. Shout out to Steven Crowder for starting beef with Ben Shapiro, so I could have easy access to a 20-minute video of Ben Shapiro saying,
"Can you play it again?"
Yeah, we'll do it again. And then I have another thing.
But it hurt when Steven said I'm gay.
I like Steven. They're friendly.
Steven, make me sick to my stomach.
I went duck hunting with Steven.
Steven,
that?
they're
Quentin
fans of mine,
Tarantino.
but I'm even bigger
Come
fans of theirs.
And then the song is from Enjoy's album Quest. It's called Ice.
I love it.
But since I went through that 20-minute video, getting the best Steven and the best sentence for Ben to say, I have a compilation just of Ben. So here's just this.
Okay. Turn it up.
Steven, make me sick to my stomach. This week, Steven attacked my stomach. The Steven personally recorded my stomach. That is disgusting. Steven misconstrued this and is using this to attack us. And 6 million Steven's personal conduct. Until the point when more times than I can count. Steven, in order to continue. Steven's not a moron. I'm personally insulted by Steven's behavior here. Steven.
Fuck you, Ben.
Damn. Okay. And then I also try to get the times. I love
We
it.
could do an entire fake interview like that.
What was I going to say about Ben? Oh, my favorite thing is whenever he's ranting and he has those little I try to get some of those in there as well. So,
I could tell that was good.
So
we could do an entire fake interview like that.
We could. We
just
could.
cut up Ben's thing and release it. That's not my voice.
Steven. I was debating on what to have him say. So the first three were different variations of the thing about his stomach. So
yeah.
I thought the thing about recorded my stomach disgusting was good, but then at that point it started to get a little long. It was the hardest to get Lex to say to get his stuff. I was working on that for so long. He doesn't say in his podcast called me or said that.
Because wait, Steven called me gay. Is that what?
It really hurt. That came from the Ye interview because he's it really hurt when you said you didn't trust me, and so I was it really hurt when Steven said I'm gay. Here,
How'd you get the gay though?
But it hurt when Steven said I'm gay.
Tim Dillon, the Tim Dillon interview that he did.
Oh man, I love it.
So you're gay. And it's the best when you can get those words isolated too. So the sentence mixing is better. Thank you, Very Tall Bart, for some good advice too. He said he only pulls from the beginning and end of prominent phrases or words. And that's actually how I got, I made a lot of those sound bites a lot smoother.
I think I'm going to go on a limb and say Lexa just called himself gay.
Yeah. I think he did on the new Joe Rogan podcast, but I don't know. We didn't watch. We didn't want to. I'll watch when I'm trying to go to sleep tonight.
Gotcha.
That hurts, yay.
It broke my heart when Ye said he liked Hitler. My favorite tweet. All right, so we've got a lot to get into. We've got some fun stuff to talk about. We've got some not so fun stuff to talk about when it comes to society and podcasting as a whole, but we're going to start with the fun stuff. We're going to be smiling as the boys, as the twins say, we're all smiles over here. Come on, Garden fans. Come on, guys. You watch the Garden videos. Subscribe.
Subscribe. Stay. I thought we were doing the big book fair Rama. Are we going to go into that?
Oh, okay, yes. I was going to ask you about books that you read as a kid. I, for some reason, just remembered Flat Stanley the other day, and so I looked him up. Added him as a friend. You've never heard of Flat Stanley?
No, I'll Google Flat. Well,
okay, so it's a book about this boy who one night, his billboard, or not his billboard, a cork board above his bed falls and it flattens him. So he's completely flat. And so his family decides to still love him, and he actually ends up helping the community by, yep, there he is. he goes to this like art museum and he poses as a painting and like catches these burglars. And another thing he does in the book, what does he do? Oh, he puts himself in like a package and then mails himself to like California where his grandma lives and like spends the day with her. But whenever we read the book, like in preschool or kindergarten, whenever, there was like a worksheet associated with it. So it's like, cut out your own flat Stanley, send it to this random person. So
Yeah.
So yeah, and then at the end of the book, his dad puts like a bike pump in his mouth and then like airs him back to normal.
What the fuck? Oh, that's a good one. I got a good book that I wrote down the description for it. Maybe you remember it. I think I read it in like third grade. Macaroni Boy. Did you read Macaroni Boy at all?
No, I did not.
Okay, Macaroni Boy. I'll just read a quick description. It's a children's historical novel by the American writer Catherine Ayers. Or maybe it's Ayers, I don't fucking know. It is set in 1933 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania during the Great Depression and tells the story of sixth grader Mike Costa. His large Italian-American family owns a food warehouse in the Strip District, but the school bully taunts him, calling him Macaroni Boy.
So it's not a superhero made of macaroni. It's
No, just being a racist, start an Italian person. Hey, you dumb Macaroni Boy. Mike is the store's rat killer.
Nice.
And when he checks his traps, he's catching fewer. Mike eventually discovers a connection between the dying rats and his grandfather's illness.
Whoa.
Mike's best friend Joseph helps Mike solve this great mystery. So if you haven't come up with a 2022 reading list yet, I won't spoil the ending of the pod, but we are going to say the end at the end of the pod. You have to...
Okay.
No, I don't remember the fucking ending.
Yeah,
And honestly, the way that's written is so funny. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's connected to his grandfather's illness.
Well, it sounds like an innuendo too. He takes care of the rats. Like we know what that means.
Yeah, we know Italians and I almost said it.
Italians and that's how mafia works. Did you ever read the? Hello, I'm quiet.
I think we're about to find out. We have read none of the same books, so this should be.
It's all right. Charlie Bone, ring a bell.
Rings a bell, but I didn't read. I never read them. I remember people reading them. Yeah,
like Kroger, Harry Potter. I don't know. I read those. I read those books. I didn't really like them, but I liked the cover of them. So, but I didn't really read the Harry Potter books. So
wait, what's his name? Charlie Bone?
Yeah, Charlie Bone. Your mom, folks.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Got me. Children of the Red King. That's the novel series.
Sounds familiar.
That's it.
Oh, it is.
That's Charlie Bone.
I just remember the Charlie Bone.
Okay, yeah. What do you remember?
Nothing from it. I think the books, it looked like they had a lot of pages, but the spacing, the pages were like quadruple spaced. So I was like, oh, this will make it seem like hey, teacher, I read 400 pages, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Were you a book nerd at all?
No, not a nerd. I'd read, but I wasn't like, I don't know, a book nerd.
Yeah, I definitely was.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, but I I remember being like maybe like through like when I was like 10, I still was like finding cool old stuff to read in the library or whatever. But then I just went down the like series shit with, I think I read The Hobbit. I never read the rest of the Lord of the Rings. And then I read like all the Harry Potter books. So that was such a fucking waste of time.
I read the Odyssey in like fourth grade because they took that book and they put it in like a book series and they were in like 50 pages a piece. And so I saw someone on the bus like reading it and the layout just looked really cool. And so I didn't realize until we got to high school and like had to read it. I was like, oh, I've already read this, but it was one book. That's how you get kids to like read like
Dude,
big
I've never read
books.
it. That's crazy.
Oh, really?
No. It's like one of
cool.
those books where it's like, I'll never get around to this.
Yeah. There's a movie that's pretty good. I like how in English class you read the book and then you watch the movie and then you take the test. Like you watch the movie right before the test and they're like, well, I hope you paid attention during the reading because 2 questions about only the book are going to be on the test. The rest applies to both.
Oh, but I had a couple teachers that would get you with put the thing from the movie in instead of the book to prove that you didn't read the book and you're just trying to reference the movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah, this
Dang,
was the
those
guy that
sneaky
fucking would read
teachers.
Chaucer and Old English to us. He was actually a pretty cool teacher, but he was smart. And he showed us George Carlin. He showed us one of the George Carlin bits.
Like uncensored or was
Yeah,
it a cleaner?
no,
was it cleaner?
He
or?
cut it out. So it's like every 2 seconds there's a cut like in a VHS tape.
Folks, let me tell you, and for the
Oh, something else too is like I remember learning about Greek history or whatever the cursory information of it when I was like in third grade, and I did not pay attention. I remember being like so bored out of my mind and just not interested, and I just remember being in my head. And then I remember now I don't know anything about Greek history. I don't know anything about what's a Trojan horse.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
The Scholastic book fairs. Did you ever? You had those, right?
Yeah. Well, I'll say this up front. The Scholastic Book Fair was the time of year when I realized I was poor and my mom just wouldn't spend money on like extra books, even though that was like one of my only interests. I mean, I played sports and stuff, but yeah, I don't remember like any good books. I always wanted I did get, I think, Guinness Book of World Records one year.
Oh, those were always cool.
I had like the silver cover. It was
Yeah.
like one of those years. So
It's like you thought that book was worth like $30,000, like made out of actual gold and emerald. And I always like the Ripley's Believe It or Not books.
oh yeah.
I actually went to a few. I've been to a few.
Did you ever watch the TV show?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that one was good. I'm trying to remember who hosted that. Was it the Superman guy?
I don't remember it. I don't know, but I
Can't think of his name. Dean.
one of the most prominent like primal diet, like the guy who originally like reintroduced the primal diet in like pop culture in the last 10 or 15 years. He was first on Ripley's Believe It or Not. And I remember watching that as a kid.
For eating the primal diet or something else?
Yeah, because he would eat like rotten raw organs. So, Ogenus Vonderplanets.
Did you get anything else at the book fair?
No, I think I just always let my parents down whenever I would say like, let's go to the book fair. And then they see that I just wanted toys and not books. But every now and then I would. Actually, I think I'd always look forward to like the Diary of a Wimpy Kid book. I think they would schedule the release with those book fairs.
And Captain Underpants.
Yes, Captain Underpants too.
I love those books for like like I got through them pretty quick because everybody else had kind of read them, or I don't know. I just went from Harry Potter back to Captain Underpants.
I've done that too. Okay, I got like the second Harry Potter book from the library, and when I like turned it in, I got Captain Underpants, or maybe it was Henry and Mudge, but like same level. Like the librarian like laughed at me, and I was like, "What's funny?" And she was like, "Oh, you're going from Harry Potter to Henry and Mudge," and I was like, "Yeah, it's a cool down, you know." But
A
it's
lot
like
funnier too.
yeah, it's like Lex Friedman doing the 1,000-page book and then the 10-page book on his reading list. You know.
Do you remember the one big hit that I remember was the Coke or Pepsi book?
Oh yeah, I don't remember looking at. I remember seeing that.
Well,
book,
I was
though.
hanging out with all the girls, so
I see, yeah.
So they were definitely going through that.
TTYL. Do you remember
Yeah.
that? The emoji book. It was like an emoji.
No. Yeah, the Coke or Pepsi. But the last page was the best one. It's the most Coke or Pepsi question you have. It's tits or ass. That was the last page of the book. I didn't think I'd get to it, but I got to it.
Dang. They're like, yeah, the main demographic of these people don't read. They don't even know how to read, so they're probably not going to get to this final page. But you did it.
We could do an entire episode of Coke or Pepsi questions.
We could.
Embrace debate.
Yeah. First Amendment protest where we go through the whole Coke or Pepsi.
But yeah, what kind of toys did they even have there?
So
Like cool
stupid
erasers?
shit. Yeah, like cool erasers. They had
Like a
tech
bendy
decks.
straw or something?
Yeah. The finger point thing. I didn't want that, but that's like what they had. They had like little figures of a lot of characters in books. I think that's what I really liked. There was one in particular. Oh gosh, it was like the this book series like rose in prominence again. It was like these two frogs that are friends, and so everyone in like 2016 were like, these are gay lovers.
Yeah, that was like a meme.
Yeah.
You're talking about like Toad and Frog. Isn't it Toad and Frog?
Maybe.
Is one a toad and one's a frog?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay.
A little figure of one of them, and
Yeah.
I remember I really wanted one of those, and I got it, and I played with it like all the time.
Did you ever read who's the guy that did like Jumanji and what's the
Zathura.
Yeah, Zathura. I was gonna say Zarathustra. He has another one that's like fucking awesome. That was like one of my favorite books ever, like with pictures, but like hold on, let me find it. Did you read Jumanji ever?
Robin Williams, no, but I saw the board game. I didn't play it. Wasn't falling for that one.
Chris Van Allsburg. Or like Chris Van Asper. I couldn't come up with anything. Chris Van Allsburg. What's the name of that fucking book that rules? Oh, he wrote Polar Express as well. Zathura is good as hell. Jumanji's second. Oh, sorry. But The Garden of Abdul Ghazazi, that fucking book rules. It's like all black and white. Maybe all of them are black and white. But buy it for your kids. That's who. The Garden of Abdul Ghazazi. I can't remember anything about it. I just remember that in the lawn. Yeah, this is like all I remember is the cover of the book. It's like a little bunny and I don't know what else. Animals cut into it, and it's about this guy's like elaborate garden, I guess. The Garden. Great book. I loved it. I also have my social justice reading list book, or reading list.
And
of
these are
books.
what are at the book fair now.
Yeah, this is what kids are reading now.
After the litter box bathroom break, this is what they're going to be reading.
Okay, here's a few. None of them are fake. The first one is I Dissent, Ruth Bader Ginsburg Makes Her Mark by Debbie Levy. A great book about how Ruth Bader goes down on Bill Clinton, how she was promoted to the Supreme Court. She makes her mark. Yeah, the mark of a cum stain on her dress and face and tits and ass.
100% real. Was the title real? But then the rest is...
The book's real, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to do that with any other ones, maybe. Lillian's Right to Vote by Jonah Winter. This one's hilarious. This is actually the description. It's a book about a 100-year-old black woman who is determined to walk up a steep hill to her polling station. And as she's walking up the polling station, she's remembering like what her parents went through and when they registered to vote during civil rights and everything. That one actually maybe is like the least bad one. If you wanted to teach all that, again, it's probably better that these are in kids' books because you want to get it out of the way, get it done.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. Magic Trash. It's a story
Is that
about
a podcast? Is that a podcast name?
Yeah, it's ours. Self-own. Magic Trash, a story of Tyree Guyton and his art. So it's about a black guy, and it's by J.H. Shapiro. And a black man takes all the trash in his neighborhood and builds art, and then it gets destroyed.
What the? Do you remember that book of the guy who he tight-roped across the Twin Towers?
Yeah. Was that like fucking Houdini or somebody? Not Houdini, but
I don't
like
remember
one of those
who it
kind of
was.
guys.
But I thought, I don't know.
I do remember the book.
I spaced out when the librarian was like reading the book to our kindergarten class because I thought that they took the Twin Towers down because walking across it on a tightrope was so dangerous that they wanted to prevent someone from doing it again. So they got rid of the Twin Towers.
Damn, that's an awesome way to fucking spin that in your head as a kid. Okay, I got three more. These will be faster. Our House is on Fire. Greta Thunberg's call to save the planet.
Oh, nice.
Sofia Valdez, future prez. The description for it was Sofia's abuelo hurt his ankle at Mount Trashmore, which that's crazy. There's more trash. She brainstorms ways to make it safe. City Park tells her no, so she gets the community involved. So that's
Very
why she's
empowering.
future president.
Yeah. Got to
And then
start small.
The last one is A for Activist by author Inosanto Nagara, which is just Spanish for the black man did not do that. Inosanto Nagaro. That
awesome.
one I don't know anything about, but the author's name's hilarious. He's wrote a bunch of kids' books. Actually, I was just kind of reading a little bit of his bio, but I don't remember enough, so forget it. But A is for Activist. Inosanto Nagara.
That's beautiful.
Oh, man.
Like, change your name. Like, get a different name.
I think no, I don't remember where he's from.
Did you ever watch Teletubbies as a kid?
I barely remember watching it. I think it was more, no, I don't think I watched it ever. We had the yellow Teletubby or whatever that like had the product recall. And when you like press the button, it sounded like it was saying like, I'm a it.
Oh, yeah. I think I've heard about that.
Yeah. I probably told you about it before at least. But one of them, Tinky Winky or somebody was like, I'm a it. But no, I didn't watch it. But
okay, so I watched it as a kid the other night. Okay, I'll tell you how my wife and I got to watching Teletubbies.
Okay.
We're on YouTube, my YouTube account, Adam Friedland Show, Nick and Adam are talking about Elmo and Elmo's dad. So we're watching that. We went to Netflix, Teletubbies came up, and there was a reboot of it. So we watched one episode, and the structure of that show, you just get these drone shots of the Teletubby farmland, the co-op,
Yeah.
and then those 1984 speakers come out and they're like, Teletubbies, get out. Time for Teletubbies to get out. And then the sun baby was black. No. And we saw episode 2, it was Asian.
That's the moon, full moon. Or no, new moon. Should be a black baby, right?
They change it every episode. So the next episode, it was an Asian, a yellow sun Asian.
Baby Sun's the same motherfucker.
So they run around, then they sit down, and then they show their like stomachs. They play a video, this like 3-minute video that's like a girl singing a song with a bunch of kids, and like half of them are like disabled. It's like it's the melting pot.
Yeah.
And So that ends, and then the Teletubbies go again, and they hit again, and it's just the entire video you just watched. They do it again. It's like, it's kind of crazy. Like
No, but it is for babies.
it is for babies, but
I mean, you were watching a baby show and you're complaining about
I know
the
Well,
repetitiveness of it.
I kind of thought about that. I was like, well, I mean, I'm not gonna like watch a bunch of kids shows and see if they all do stuff like this, but I don't remember, like, I don't think like the movie Toy Story, it wasn't like that. You know, there weren't
No, but like this is Teletubbies is for babies.
it is for toddlers, yeah.
No, it's for babies and toddlers, but babies first and foremost, as far as I'm concerned. They are just giant babies. I know I've told you before about there's like a great blog online. Google that since you just have it up. Google Teletubby dystopia. Fucking spelled dystopia wrong. Classic you. No, I'm joking.
Dystopia, datopia.
Dystopia, datopia. Because they basically do like live in this weird 1984 thing. That's like what you call them, like the 1984 speakers, and they're like.
No, I found that blog like a while ago, and I remember reading it, and some of those ideas popped into my head when I was watching it. Because it's like the machines. It's like the state tells them when it's time to go inside, get in your bunker. The state like issued food. It's like this green or pink slime, and
they don't work though. At least that's like the utopia. Is you just get reduced to your nothingness.
I found this video of the Teletubbies. It's like the actors outside of their costumes. It's a news story.
Yeah.
So I want to show you that because
I know that I've seen this before. I'm just not remembering what it is. Is one of them like seriously deformed or something?
No, they're all.
Or the black one plays the one you would expect or something like that.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh my God. See, my memory, not as bad as I say it is, folks.
They're treating this like it's the Beatles, first of all. Okay, I love this part.
They were instantly popular and instantly controversial.
Was that just a fart noise?
Just a fart noise.
The production wrapped up for good in 2001. Now, 10 years after their debut,
what the fuck? Is that Angela Merkel giving them a fucking...
Probably.
Staging their own British invasion.
Sorry. Yep, they are literally the Beatles.
They've kicked off their first trip outside Teletubbyland.
So I guess they were the biggest deal in the world.
Did you read any magazines as a kid?
I did actually. Oh, well, I read Nintendo Power.
I had, when I was a kid, I had Sports Illustrated Kids Edition, Swimsuit Edition. Just kidding. No, I had the Kids Edition. My two favorite things about that were, one was there would be this section that would have like 4 scenarios like in a game of like what the ref should call, but it would be like a little bit more than just like a standard thing. Like, oh, this player ran out of bounds and then came back in bounds and caught the ball. Like, what's the correct call?
Oh.
So I like loved those every month, and there was just 4 of them. And then the other was the cheap ass like cardstock, like perforated cheap cardstock cards, you know, but all my friends like had real cards.
Oh yeah.
This is the episode when you find out I was poor. I never really got into collecting like baseball cards or like football cards or anything. We were a Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh house thanks to my gay brother who watched Teletubbies.
Yeah, I liked Yu-Gi-Oh for a while.
Were you a Lego? Did you like building with Lego?
Oh yes, Lego Harry Potter. This is weird actually. So I didn't like building the sets because I'd only keep them together for so long before I'd tear them apart. So on Christmases, my dad, the night of Christmas Eve, would assemble these big Lego sets overnight. So when I wake up, it's like, oh, he sees me within 2 hours, like taking it all apart again.
All right, we can move on. Although I will say I was mostly like an action figure kid. I like just got like fucking random toys and just like fought with them.
Yeah, I would do
just
that
like
too.
create brackets. You know, it goes back to my love of brackets.
Oh, really? You do tournaments?
I've been bracket obsessed my whole life. I had a Looney Tunes suitcase that I kept all of them in. And had like, you know, Bugs Bunny and Taz and some other Looney Tunes characters on it, just their faces. And my grandparents had Cabbage Patch dolls too, which I wanted a doll when I was like really little, and like people in my family were like, he's gonna turn out gay. And here I am, gay as ever. No, but my like, I don't know why I wanted a fucking doll. I wanted a My Buddy doll, and I had one. I got it. I got a My Buddy doll. He was my son.
What's a My Buddy doll?
Oh, they were all the rage. My buddy. But so I got the My Buddy doll. My brother spooked by it because it kind of looked like Chucky. And even the Chucky comes up. My brother would freak out. I had the one that was with the brown hair. Gotcha. That was My Buddy.
That does look exactly.
And then I got a baby later on, dude. I definitely should have been gay.
You're just a single father.
Yeah,
You're
that's all I've ever wanted to be, is a single dad. Dead serious. What about cars? Hot Wheels? Do you have Hot Wheels?
No, I fucking hate
I wasn't a cars guy,
hated
but I did
cars.
have the giant, like, not Looney Tunes, Sesame Street, like, mat.
Like a city layout?
Yeah.
I had one of those too.
Yeah. But that was just for my action figures to run through the city and on top of buildings.
Not the roads.
I also had like a giant, like, cat, like basically the boys' version of like a Barbie doll house, but it was like a king's castle. So then I could put my action figures in there. Those were my friends.
Yeah.
Also, the other question I was going to ask, well, do I have any other weird toys? Were you Play-Doh?
I knew it was fun to play with and not to eat. That's about it though.
Okay, the only other thing I was going to ask is, did you, when you were a kid, believe in any of the, like, the made up ways to die, like quicksand, or like, because one of my great fears as a kid was like having an anvil dropped on my head, or like, or being thrown like dynamite that's about to explode, and then just like blowing up and having my face on the opposite, like my nose and mouth on the opposite side of my head.
The stepping on the crack, breaking my mom's back, yes. But I thought that the way to reverse it, if you did, was to step on the crack with your opposite foot. But then there were 3 critical points of the back of your foot, the center of your foot, and the front of your foot. You had to even it out. You had to do the 6. You had to do the hexa step to save your mom's back. I don't know why.
I don't know. I never was scared of it, right? But I became very conscious of it. So I would always step over cracks.
Yeah, I guess I didn't think my mom's back was actually going to be broken, but like it was more of like an autistic thing where it's like, I have to step and correct it.
So this week I saw like this half retarded guy, Jersey Mike's. I mean, it's always, I don't know why. It's just, this is where they work now.
Yeah.
And I came in and he's like making noises. He's like making loud ass noises. And then like the short lady behind the counter, younger, she's like, we have a customer in here. Like, you got to be quiet. And then I'm like standing there kind of waiting. And he goes, was my singing bothering you? He wasn't that retarded. But he's like, was my singing bothering you? And I was like, oh, is that what that was? Like, I don't know why I fucking said that. Like, I'm some old grandpa. I was like, is that what that was? And then he goes, then he points to the old manager that's there, the old manager lady. And he's like, yeah. He's like, see, he doesn't care. I was like, I didn't say I was okay. I just didn't know what the fuck is happening. And then she's like, well, I don't like it. You know, she's sassy old lady. Anyway, whatever. I just feel like I have to mention on the pod when I see like retarded people out.
Do you remember like when you were a kid going to Walmart and like when you would see a retarded person, like would you think about it for like the whole day? Like I would think, I just like wouldn't leave my head.
If I saw somebody like seriously deformed or something, it would fuck me up like all day. I'd just be like thinking like, how do they look like that?
Yeah. Like, what happened to them? What happened to them? That's a good question to ask. Washed up celebrities out of their prime. They were funny in the 90s. They have 2 options today. They can either hope that Netflix gets around to reading the reboot of their subpar sitcom, or they can make a podcast. Those are the only 2 options. You were funny in the 90s with SNL. You know, your parents had the DVD of your greatest hits. But now this is all you can do. So I have a beef with a lot of these celebrities who think they can just like waltz into the podcast area scene. I don't want to say scene because we're not a part of the scene, but I would say
no, we're part of the scene and we've been grinding for months and they're trying to step in.
That is true. Now here's what I really have. All right. I don't normally do this. I don't normally get the screen recorder out, but this comedy podcast channel, All Things Comedy, is like the best place to go for the shittiest content. So George Lopez has decided to step into the podcast game. I've watched this like 10 times, but I've only gotten to the first 2.5 minutes because what happens in the first 2.5 minutes is so insane. We'll just go ahead and
wait. Episode 96? He's been doing it forever now?
This was uploaded on Monday too.
So he's 96 episodes in?
Yes, 96 episodes in. What can he do?
So a guy's playing golf and he goes, man, I fucking hit this guy in the middle of I was playing by myself in the end of the day.
So first of all, the guest, can you hear him like breathing in the background?
I mean, my hearing's all fucked up, but I can hear George, so I guess.
I fucking hit this guy in the middle of I was playing by myself in the end of the day. And I couldn't see anybody, so I hit this.
It's supposed to be the funniest part that they've taken from the episode to throw at the beginning. So you're like, whoa, I got to stay tuned for this.
Okay. Shot, but it didn't go high. It kind of went fucking hard and straight. I go over, and there's these 2 guys. One's on the ground, holding his back. He's not moving. And the other guy is standing over him, and they were wearing those, like the old-time pants. What are they called? No, they were white guys.
Okay,
so
that was his joke. That's the whole joke. Okay,
which is fun. That is funny.
No,
but
it's a good joke, but I would have thought that was like an opening. That's supposed to be like the high point of the episode kind of thing.
And it's like, we did not need the 30 seconds of like, so I was like golfing. Like he couldn't even remember what, he's like trying to get through this story.
That's bad.
He sounds like pre-episode 10 of version of us.
Also, he's just fucking comedian for a career. So like he probably should be able to tell a joke and deliver it well. I mean, the ending was fine, but that's a funny joke. But man, that was
terrible build up to it. And then also, so I'm recording the screen because I'm going to put this in the episode. So we've got his red shirt and his like red background. He's blending in and he's looking green on the light. He also just looks like Leatherface, which is just a side observation. So now we're getting into the intro, which is like the... So it's, hey, for my podcast, could I get lowrider? And they're like, no, actually, we couldn't get lowrider. But what we did do is we recorded 5 seconds on a piano, a few sounds. Here's the cowbell, dit, 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 and the snare. Psh. Oh, good. Let's just use that.
First second.
Hello, everyone. Hola, mis amigos.
Oh, that's
You're listening to
your Mexican mom telling you to get home inside for dinner.
Oh, yeah.
Banging on the pot and pan.
Oh my God! Hi, hijo de Dios. Hola. With me, George Lopez. Porque sabes que, let's do the show. Porque I got a lot of things to do. I gotta go to that dry cleaner ahí. My kid fell. Se pegó la cabeza. I gotta go get some Neospore and Paul.
So that was a lot right there that just happened. So
wait, was that?
That's his like pre-recorded. We put this intro.mp4 in at the beginning of every episode. It's like they forgot to have an episode and they're like, George, funny, go, 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 go. And so he just did every single bit at once that he's like famous for in his stand-up. And if you look over here,
I don't even know his stand-up. I didn't know what the fuck just happened. It looked like he was having a stroke. Or not a stroke, a seizure.
I know. He's like, have you seen Shark Boy and Lava Girl?
Yeah.
You know when he plays like that electric thing? That's like when that robot is like rebooting. That's like what it does.
Oh my God! Hi, hijo de Dios. Hola. With me, George Lopez. Porque sabes que, let's do the show. Porque
updating.
I gotta go to that dry cleaner ahí. My kid fell. Se pegó la cabeza. I gotta go get some.
And then, okay, so he has his own George Lopez themed drink. I don't know if it's an energy drink, coffee, beer, whatever, but he's had 3 of them. So it's like he needs 4 in order to do a normal podcast. So he's not fully like recharged. And my favorite part here, he messes up saying Neosporin, and then he looks off to the side of the camera like, oh, nobody noticed that. Like, watch.
Neospore and Paul. You know, George.
Wow.
And then that's
a rough intro. That's bad.
Here we go. Get the third act here. So we get to see what the graphic design looks like.
Around here somewhere.
Not bad. This looks like someone is like holding a Hispanic man mask. It doesn't even look like George Lopez.
That looks literally nothing like George Lopez.
Our art.
Other than the fact that man's clearly Mexican. That's it. Like,
seriously.
That's it. He doesn't even wear shades ever.
Yeah, and his hair doesn't spike up like that.
No.
Dude.
George Lopez.
Oh my God.
OMG.
OMG. Hi.
Oh my God. Hi.
It's more because I don't want it to get picked up.
This motherfucker is talking trash.
So then we start with
2 guys with the same shirt on.
Yes, and this guy, I think is a reoccurring guest because I didn't notice. So he's in this graphic.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I love how a lot of podcasts, they go for this look of like the wood room. I'm in the wood room, right? Because it's supposed to remind you of like masculinity and like a shed. This is just like actually recorded in a shed. You know, it's not the nice wood paneling. It's like plywood just thrown here. It's from the All Things Comedy. And they go, let's put some bushes over here too. And our gay sign. And obviously we saw Joe Rogan's podcast. We've got to get the Twin Peaks Red Room here. Let's have the cables exposed here on this table. And just, I mean,
love it.
And then they have the 3 camera setup, like in Joe Rogan's podcast. You know, this is camera 2. It's the middle. It's neutral. Camera 1 gets the subjects. Camera 3 gets George Lopez. Also, his water bottle is just knocked over too. That's never addressed in the first 2.5 minutes. But let's see what happens when we start changing the camera angles.
Right.
So the producer goes,
I love people that say motherfucker in a
I love this.
so they go to this camera.
sentence, by the way.
Yeah.
I
Because
love that fucking word.
because even I'm all Elvis obsessed. So
during, I mean, like while the show is live, it's like, let's go to this camera. Oh, it's blurry and it's in the wrong spot. No
motherfucker
problem.
in a-
I'll just pick it up while we're recording the
sentence.
podcast.
Yeah.
I'll just set it over here.
That's crazy.
because
Get a fucking spend some money and get a real producer. That's what we do.
So then what he does now, he wants to check the next camera.
You know, I'm all Elvis obsessed. So
we'll get to this bit later.
They're doing that 69 special, and they're doing rehearsals.
Right. Let's try the other camera.
To the producer and to Elvis. He goes, it just occurred to me that none of the 20 songs are fucking Christmas songs.
Oh, turn the light
This
on.
whole idea for the show.
Turn the green light on.
It's a Christmas show.
Yeah.
So
still adjusting.
I want to see some Christmas songs. Not all 20, but I'd like to see some Christmas songs in the Christmas show. Okay. Neither of them said anything. And they both walked away, and they got about out of earshot. And Elvis looked at that guy, Mike Bender, and said, "Fuck him, motherfucker."
Oh, this camera's not properly framed either. Let me walk in front of the camera, then go to the side, and now I'm gonna move it while they're talking.
Motherfucker.
An old friend of mine, female, she was living back in Virginia.
And then I don't know if you caught it. Where's my Ford George Loco?
Yeah, my Ford Loco.
The joke he was making, I love I'll only go to the beginning. I won't do the whole joke, but he's saying he's a huge Elvis fan, and he's recounting this moment that happened in Elvis's life. I'm 99% positive he is just reciting a scene from the Elvis movie where the guy who owns Elvis, his like producer or whatever, is like, you're gonna do Christmas songs, and Elvis is like, I didn't want to do that. But how he prefaces it.
This motherfucker is talking trash.
This motherfucker.
Beverly Hills
I
Cop.
love people that say motherfucker in a sentence, by the way.
Yeah. Okay, it's bad. I got you.
Because
and then he just can't think of his I love people who say motherfucker, by the way, because
I mean, he's an idiot.
By the way.
Yeah.
I love that fucking word.
Because
the show sucks.
You know, even I'm all.
I don't think I've ever seen a podcast this bad, though.
No, it's like uniquely bad. Because I like even the Dana Carvey, or like at least when they fucking don't have video, they don't have video like us. But seriously, like this is, it's pretty tough to watch.
Actually, their most viewed video is comedians playing poker, and it's Bill Burr, Theo Von, Bert
I've seen
Kreischer.
that one's like a nice video though, because Bert probably fucking paid for like some nice producer to do it.
The production quality is good. Content is not so good.
But of course not.
It's pretty funny though, because Bert immediately starts going into, we might watch it another time, but he starts going into like one of his fake stories, and like Theo Von, he's sitting next to Bert. So unfortunately, he's like looped into this conversation, like looking and like talking to him. And
I remember Theo lying a bunch in that too. I think that's when I learned about Bert, which is crazy because that's not a super old video. So I kind of was lucky in not knowing who the fuck he was for many years.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a pretty bad podcast.
One of the comments on here,
especially being 96 episodes in, like
seriously,
how many views does it have? 5,000.
So 2 days. It was uploaded 2 days ago, but yeah, 5,000.
Still, that's crazy. That's so
I wonder
low.
if I can find this comment. That's
what's going to happen to us.
Yes.
Someday we're only going to get 5,000 videos on our views. Views on our videos. Fuck that up.
So this is such a great pod with great fucking banter from Augustina.
I just love people who say fucking.
Yeah. I love people who say like motherfucker.
What about Mex Friedman?
So what I was thinking, but I was going to say Augustina, that's the name of a girl who went to our high school, and she like pissed her pants every day. So
that's hilarious.
That's who we have watching this.
No, it's just loser people that like probably watched like George Lopez's show or something and like still like him.
They're like, yeah, I woke up.
I always wanted to fuck him when I was a little girl.
I woke up at 2 a.m. With the TV still on when Nickelodeon was on, but now it's Nick at Night, and now George Lopez is staring into my soul in slow motion.
I liked that show.
I did too. My dad and I would watch it, and I liked the intro a lot.
Yeah, I just thought he was the best dumb-ish dad. But his character wasn't like overly dumb or anything.
No.
But yeah, that was a good show. Yeah, that's a pretty bad podcast too.
So I'll be on the lookout for other bad podcasts.
Yeah, I will
but that
too.
constitutes my beef of the week.
Just everything about that was horrible.
I couldn't stop watching it, and I would like take a break, like a 3-hour break. Then I'd come back. I'm like, okay, was this really that bad, or am I just like trying to come up with stuff?
The set's the best part, and it's shit.
Yeah,
it's like literally one of those like just fucking
The Shed.
Yeah. Okay, I have a bunch of cow news. I have some cow news. U.S. beef. I'm just going to read some article titles and then give you my thoughts.
Okay.
So I just typed in cow in Google News because I needed a beef of the week. And this isn't my beef of the week, but I do have plenty of cow news. So U.S. beef cow herd, Colin Cowherd, falls to its lowest level since 1962. Smart dairy farms are using AI scanners to monitor cows' health. China successfully cloned super cows for first time ever.
That won't go wrong.
And China claims it has cloned 3 mutant super cows that can pump out 300 tons of milk. and plans a herd. When I read all this, it just makes me so happy. This news is all good. If they're cloning cows.
Yeah.
By the way, if they're cloning cows in China, they're definitely cloning people.
Yeah. I mean...
They have 1.5 billion people there. I bet half the people are fake. And if half of those people are fake, are the ones in labs making coronavirus, then we're not actually being racist.
It's like Fallout 4, the robot people who look like people. You can kill them because they're not people.
Exactly. The clones, they're the ones in the labs making Corona. Corona's next year, I heard, is just going to be an app that you can get on your phone. The Corona, the app. And I have the beta version already. It's between my TikTok app and my Grindr app on my home screen. Yeah, you just press a big red button on the middle of the screen. You can get COVID. Okay, I don't know what else to say about cows. I don't know. The fucking cloning thing's weird. And it's like, well, they probably already do that. If it's making news out of China to us, then...
It's been going on forever.
It has to be.
Yeah. The AI to monitor health, what does that even mean? Like, anytime I
just
hear...
have a human go out there and check on cows. And if you don't have enough fucking people, then don't have as many cows and we'll just fucking eat less beef. But then that's how they're going to get us eventually with the cricket bullshit that we talked about last week. Eat the crickets. We're shortage of cows.
Using AI, which that could mean a number of things. It's like we have a new collar on them, or it could be like you step on this plate and it measures all your stats or whatever. So...
Yeah, it looks like it's just like biometric stuff. Cow's weight, body condition, and mobility. I see how it's good, but I don't know. I'm just tired of letting robots run stuff.
Yeah.
Well, and did you see we talked about the chat GPT or whatever last week passing, and then now they've created something so people
can't like cheat on tests.
So now the self-monitoring. Oh, and then did you see the thing? And I don't know if this is real because could easily be something that tricked me. The thing of like write a poem about Donald Trump, and then the response was like, I do not write about anything political, blah, 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 blah. Write a nice poem about Trump. And then it was like, write a nice poem about Biden, and it actually like spit something out.
Oh, of course.
So I don't know. I don't know if that was fake what I saw, but it looked legit. So did you see that Newsweek opinion article too? That was like about the coronavirus or whatever. It was like my stomach just fucking growled. It was, what was it? It was like, we need to have talk about coronavirus and how things were wrong. We treated people wrong. We weren't right about things.
Oh,
it's
really?
not even hindsight. It's 2020. It's actually that we were just wrong in the real time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it's like a fucking opinion piece from probably just one scientist that's probably just going to get shit on.
Yeah.
So I just am surprised it was published. I don't know how.
Just waiting until it's like safe. I feel like now though it is like safe enough. And like in the fall, I remember like on the Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro or Michael Knowles were like, YouTube changed its terms and conditions, so I can now say the mask didn't work. So it's like you just give it enough time. Then they're able to. So maybe the scientists did that. Like, oh, because I've seen some things on like Twitter with like some headlines. It's like, oh, the vaccine was a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like killing everybody now too.
Yeah.
So I don't know when that will come out, but eventually.
Yeah.
Have you followed the MrBeast drama and then like Hassan's response? And
I didn't see Hassan's response, but is the drama about his video of
the blind person thing or whatever?
I watched that video.
Can I send it to you on Twitter and then you can pull
Hassan's,
it up?
Yeah, send it to me because I want to see it.
Yeah, and actually just cut me explaining it, so that isn't in there twice.
I left in one of those episodes, the Michael Caine thing. I left that in. We did it twice, and I didn't realize it.
Well, you kept something I did in twice too, and I was like, what the fuck? But it's fine.
I thought it was kind of funny to leave it in.
Yeah, but you're going to poop me and not you, except for the sauce.
Hold
on, where the fuck is this video? Click on the Carl Benjamin tweet.
Oh.
The most relevant person in the world, Carl Benjamin. That's all we want to hear, Sargon of Akkad.
All right, so here's Hassan and his girlfriend.
Video, you go, oh, how cute and how nice. I watched the video and I'm filled with rage.
What's wrong with you?
That we shut off access to a 10-minute procedure because we paywalled it and decided that like some people just simply can't get it. It is so insanely frustrating that it like it's up to like one YouTube guy can't just fucking see.
I just hate how he talks.
Yeah,
I don't even disagree with what he's saying. That like
deeply frustrating.
But
concept.
that would infuriate you. Like seeing a good thing happen for people would infuriate you. Instead of like being like, oh, it's shitty for everybody that's blind, but because a few people got helped out, it can't be good.
Yeah,
I don't know. That shit's so gay. But sorry, I was gonna say I do get how it gets into like the public psyche because we've got so used to celebrities doing stuff, and then we think we need to love a celebrity more. And then we do just forget about the problem.
Yeah.
So I get that part of it.
I feel like a reasonable response from someone like him would be like, oh, okay, if MrBeast can do this for 1,000 people, then could I do something similar for like 100 people?
Yeah.
You know, but no, it's just, it's like, it's kind of the same thing that like the right does. It's like, they just can't help but politicize it, or like they have to go back to their little box. You know, when you start like taking these political stances and you're like a political commentator, you have limited everything outside of your little box that you have to stay in. And that's just kind of what he's doing.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah.
I just saw one of the comments too, and there's like, he's making it political, but that's probably fucking somebody, riling him up.
Yeah.
But yeah, him being with that girl makes perfect sense. Again, I don't know. They could be siblings. They could be fucking. They could be siblings that fuck.
Yeah.
But that's like the only girl that would be around him, because it's his confidence is like the fakest, douchiest, dumbest, lamest thing ever.
Have you seen, someone found that he, like in the early 2010s, maybe late 2000s, had a blog. It was like Mr. Bro. So he was trying to do this like, I'm the bro guy. Like,
he's just stealing what's his name's shtick?
Bro Life Science, that guy?
No, okay, so it's more like that, the art of manliness kind of thing?
Yeah, it was like that.
It wasn't like the Dick Masters.
Oh, no, it wasn't like that, no. Yeah, he had a blog like that. I don't know. It's probably archived. But
I'm probably look it up. Do you remember any of them?
It was just gay stuff of like how to like keep your dick hard when you're drunk at a party or something. I mean, it's stuff in that realm. I don't know if that's exactly what it was, but
gotta keep your dick hard.
You know how some people.
No, I know
say,
I get the idea. What you mean. So yeah, I just think that's such a dumb response, but I don't know.
He also just sounds like a girl when he's like complaining.
Yeah, I agree. The way the whole video starts off is like, this makes me so infuriated. It's like, you're a man and you're infuriated about something, like unironically. I can only ironically be. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm going to fucking cry because people aren't getting access. But these people are, you fucking asshole retard. Okay, I'm ready for my beef of the week. I'm like hot going into this on.
Let's go.
Okay. My beef of the week is people that say Runza instead of Beer Rocks. Not really, but they're the same fucking food.
I thought Runza was just a restaurant. People call Beer Rocks Runza?
Runza is Beer Rocks. They're the same thing.
I didn't know that.
Well, maybe that's your wife's confusion too. So to give some context here, because I was just going to have this be a throwaway comment.
Uh-huh. So your beef of the week is people who call Beer Rocks.
It's not really. Actually, my beef of the week is something entirely different. I just wanted to throw that in, the Runza Beer Rocks discussion. It's the same food. I've seen Runzas made like more on a hoagie bun maybe or something, the longer bun, but it's all the same. It's the same food. They have onions. I don't know if your wife makes her Beer Rocks with onions. So, but still, Beer Rocks normally have onions. I always had with onions.
I didn't know that.
Did you eat Beer Rocks before you were married?
Yeah, and I don't think they had onions in them.
Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Well, what the thing she said about greasy buns? That's not true. I'm just only making the group text worse for me later, so I don't know. My beef of the week is my childhood ending. At age 26 and a half-ish, my childhood's officially ending because Tom Brady of the New England Patriots and now the Tampa Bay Buccaneers has retired. So he went to 10 Super Bowls, won 7 of them. And it's the earliest football memories for me, and really like my earliest memories of my favorite sport, watching Tom Brady play 21 years ago in a Super Bowl. It's the first Super Bowl I remember was 21 years ago.
Was that the one with Janet Jackson's boob falling out?
I don't remember which one that happened in.
That's the first Super Bowl I remember watching.
It was around then. I don't know for sure, but yeah. So all those quarterbacks that were around back then, the Mannings and Roethlisberger and Breeze and Rivers. Now Brady's been around forever, 23 years in the NFL. He's gone. So it's my beef of the week is my childhood ending. Feels like we're in a new era.
For you.
This should be a sports podcast. Chiefs Eagles Super Bowl.
I thought he retires. I thought that was like a thing where it's like, I'm retiring. Oh, no, I'm not. No, was that Brett Favre?
Brett Favre used to do that all the time every year. See, fucking sports. What are we doing, man? But yeah, no, Tom Brady retired last year, but then there was like, he came back and then now he got a divorce and now he's fucking Jeffree Star or whatever. The internet rumors going on, the tranny.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Jeffree Star trans or just gay?
I think
like cross-dressing
he's just gay.
Okay. Yeah, I posted a photo yesterday, which is weird because Tom Brady retired today. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Is Tom Brady fucking a man? I don't know. Chiefs Eagles Super Bowl, RIP, the plus 1,200 future had on the Niners Chiefs Super Bowl. It's fine. Missed out on $500, lost $50, $40. You got any predictions?
What, did the Chiefs go to the Super Bowl last year?
No.
They won a year recently, right? Did the Eagles win recently?
Mm-hmm.
It's anyone's game at this point. Yeah, the Cheagles. I'm gonna say the Eagles because I just love that song Hotel California. So
damn, you love that joke with the Eagles.
Did I do that? I think I did that last week.
Yeah.
When I was editing last week's episode, one thing I did have to cut to save face. Anytime we would talk about stand up and I would say stand up, I'd be like, yeah, with stand up, sit down. I did that like 3 times. So
I didn't even notice.
I had to cut out.
You'll have to notice.
I said it once in the uploaded version.
By the way, if we were actually keeping track of the bets I've given out on the show, I think I definitely for sure have like a winning record. I might be like 75%. So if people were actually listening to this podcast the entire time and they were betting like, I don't know, $1 million,
they would have won big.
Like millions. Betting millions, they would have won millions. That's what I always say.
They could have given it to us. We could start our own podcast, like corporation, and we could scoop up the rest of the E-list celebrity, F-list celebrities.
The odds are only getting worse that we win a championship as a podcast. Or the odds are getting, worse for you to buy. Here's something I hate. It's just the beef of the hour, beef of the year. Because we were saying that we should do, and by we were saying, I mean, I sent you one text message saying we should do like a list of words that we hate.
Oh, I have a list of words.
Okay, I don't.
I
have one thing.
Okay.
In preparation, like in prepping the audience for it, and I think we should wait.
Yeah, we'll wait.
And I was gonna say this is like a weirdly specific one that I remembered. I hate the fucking whatever it is, puppy chow, that food that people make, the snack bullshit thing. Puppy chow. I hate people walking around going, I made puppy chow. I'm eating puppy chow. I don't know why. It drives me insane. You're not a dog, first off.
Yeah.
You're not a dog.
I've always had at like family gatherings like puppy chow, so I've never thought of it that way, but it does seem a little weird. I see where you're coming from.
I never had it in any kind of family gathering, and then when I got to like grade school, people were puppy chow this, puppy chow that. And it just sounds like baby poo poo puppy chow. So it sounds weird to me. Oh, I got a coworker story. I don't know if you have any coworker thing to share.
I can't. I don't have. I would have to refine it. Yeah.
Yeah. So the guy, I've complained about him before. He's 32, lives at home. His mom works there as well, and I watch him crawl into his dad's backseat every day when he picks them both up from work. And he came into my office today, and he's like, man, I wrote down a quote. He's like, we've had such a random ass spike in orders the past few weeks, and now it's slowed down. Pardon my language. That's how he talks. Pardon my language. Because he said the word, what was ass?
Oh, okay.
We've had a random ass spike. And so, yeah, he's just embarrassing. And he's always will be like, don't mind if I say this. Like that kind of shit he talks.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like
have a good day.
The padding. Like there's everything has to be like padding.
Have a good evening, Steven. That's what he says when he leaves work.
Oh my gosh. I can't deal with people like that. I just don't acknowledge.
He has a podcast, which I know I've showed you before, but he's made a few more episodes.
I was going to ask about that.
Same guy. Okay. He has a podcast, and it's a podcast about, I won't give it away, but it's the biggest MMO in the world, so that does give it away. And he did an episode. He's only like 4 episodes in. He does an episode every 8 months. Mm-hmm. Again, I'm not shaming him for trying. It takes a lot of hard work and courage to try doing a podcast.
Yes, no different from a Marine.
No different from a Marine or somebody running into a burning building, aka a firefighter.
No different from a Tom Myers getting up on stage. Happy birthday, by the way.
Happy birthday to Tom. He did an episode about like being trans and also liking this MMO. So it's like being a trans fan of this MMO.
Like he is trans? Or just
like he had somebody on who was a guy, male to female person. I'm a she and a they. That's how it starts. I'm a she and a they. And and I was listening. He's like, it's just so bad. I don't know, man. I'd love to give him some of our 130 subscribers to watch his shit ass podcast or listen to it. But
I've listened to some of it whenever he had like 2 episodes, and it was crazy. His intros were great. I can't even say anything about it because I don't want to. Yeah, we can't.
There's one part though when the guy's talking, and it's like, man, can you imagine when my coworker finds our podcast, he's just going to blow his brains out. But anyway, he, hopefully when he does, we have like 100 episodes and he doesn't find this one clip. But anyway, he lets the other guy, he's like really socially awkward, but he like lets the other guy talk for like 20 minutes about how hard it is about being trans. And then it's still not talking. And then he goes, sorry, I'm getting a little choked up now. That's how he talks, bro. This guy comes to my office and talks every day. We've been awfully busy lately, haven't we?
Oh my gosh. It's like he imagines like what he's saying is text that's scrolling in like a text box below him.
Yes.
Oh man.
That's like the best way to put it. I mean, yeah. So fuck him. I don't know. I'll have a lot more funny stories about him. He does weird shit all the time. He peeks his head into the office. Oh. No, this is what he does. I can't show him, but he'll step into my office. Just give your most sincere reaction when I stand up and do this into the mic so people know.
Okay.
So imagine this is like the doorway.
Yeah.
Imagine this is the doorway.
Okay. I'm looking at my doorway of my office.
So you're sitting there.
I'm sitting at my desk.
Here's the doorway.
I'm seeing the doorway. It's right in front of me.
You're me.
I'm Steven. And I'm just working. Oh.
Hello today, Steven.
Jeez. And I'm gonna look away because he has taken one step
across the hall. Hello, Karen.
He's taken one step into my office and has said hello to me like a video game NPC.
Yeah.
And like a video game NPC, if I don't do anything, he's gonna go to his next scripted animation, which is the person across from me.
That's what he does. And the way he interjects into conversations is not normal. And I just work like in an office of like weirdos, and then it's like I'm just not like, oh, am I actually weirdo? Because it's like, no, I noticed that they're weird. None of them realize they're weird.
Yeah.
And that the others are weird. I just love the Nick Cage guy I work with because he just I know you don't want to hear this, Steven, but that's how he talks. He's fucking okay. That's the show, folks. I don't have anything else.
Okay. See you later, guys.
Bye.